is MMAElite.net. I'm here with Greg Jackson. Can you just let some of the people know who you train right now?
Greg Jackson. I've trained a couple of fighters that are well known. John Jones, let's see, who else? Carlos Condit, George St. Pierre. In the past, it's been people like Rashad Evans. The list is as long. Donald Cerrone, Cowboy. It's a very, very long list.
No stranger to champions.
Yeah, we've had a few. I've been very, very lucky that those guys want to work with me.
Right. Favorite fighter that you would have loved to train that doesn't necessarily need to be now?
Outside of my camp,
yeah.
I'm a big fan of Anderson Silva. I love the way he fights. I love his creativeness and just kind of how he comes at fighting. I think it's really great.
The next big fighter in your gym that people don't already know about?
I think the cat's out of the bag with Rustam. He's the one I usually say, but you keep an eye on him. Rustam Pavlov is he already made his debut in the UFC, and he's very, very good.
Okay, and this is the question from them. So they want to know, did you squash whatever beef that you had with Dana White?
Actually, I think John Jones did that. He had a meeting with Dana and asked him not to say any more bad things. And for me, I don't have any bad blood. You know, Dana, once a year or so, Dana kind of gets on me about one thing or another. And, you know, that comes with the territory. I have a lot of fighters, and they do very well. So more fighters want to come, and we have a very large team. And I don't have it. It's something personal for me, and I understand Dana's very passionate, and I think his heart's in the right place. Sometimes he just gets a little upset.
Do you want to say anything to the fans based on some of the things that Dana said, just kind of like your theories or your thoughts?
Well, I mean, at that point, you know, he called me a sport killer, which is actually kind of a cool nickname. But you know, at that point, like, I've already brought out statistics. Like, you can see that my team is very, very high on finishes. We're very exciting. You know, some of our fights, I'm there almost every single UFC, and every once in a while, we're not going to blow it out of the park. But it's one of those things where consistently we do very, very well. And you know, I'm lucky that I get to do what I do for a living. And if you don't like me, sorry.
And I know you mentioned it a little bit earlier, but talking about Guida and the Gray Maynard fight, like, what happened there?
Well, we did. We started out okay, and then Clay did a little too much movement. We needed to hit a lot more. We needed to strike a lot more, and then put back on the movement. And you know, I think it was just one of those brain slips that happens. That we all need to reevaluate and make sure we don't do that again. You know, I'm very, very proud of Clay Guida, and I'm feeling very lucky that I get to train him. And he's had some amazing fights at our camp, and I feel really lucky that he had those performances and those experiences, and we'll hopefully try to erase the bad one.
Well, more in particular about when you started running, what were you thinking when you started doing that?
When he was moving that much, I was asking him to hit him more. I didn't want him to run quite as much. I think he was just trying to look for an angle or something. I'm not really sure. You know, he's a brave guy. He's a great guy, and like I said, we're going to try not to do that again.
Everyone's talking about it. They want to either see John Jones fight Anderson Silva or John Jones move up to heavyweight. What are your thoughts on him going up to heavyweight first?
Well, you know, he can do that. I mean, we're going to have to put some muscle on him and stuff, but he can do that. But honestly, I'm just, Sonen's a guy in front of us, and he's all I care about. And he's going to be a much tougher fight than people think. He deals with strong people, and you can see what he did to Yushin Akami. He's a smart fighter, he's a pressure fighter, and I'm taking him very, very seriously. I think he's really going to be tough.
Is it something you guys, I know you don't want to look past this fight, but if John Jones gets past Chael Sonnen, is it something that you guys might consider moving up? Because, I mean, he's dominating that class.
I don't know. I think there's still some great fights down there. Glover's down there, Gustafsson. I think there's some really tough up-and-comers, and not to fight those guys, I think would be a disservice both to John and to those guys who I think have earned their way up. So I think that he's got a few more fights there for sure, and they're not easy fights.
The super fight was either GSP and Anderson Silva, and then you had Anderson Silva versus John Jones. What I've seen online, a lot of people want to see John Jones versus Anderson Silva. If that fight were to happen, I don't want to let the cat in the bag, but what would you be thinking strategically to solve the puzzle of Spider Silva?
Anderson's so impressive. He's such a great fighter, and I have so much respect for him. I don't even want to think about it. Like, unless it's on my doorstep, I don't even want to think about it. He's too good of a guy.
So that's Yoda saying you're not getting that from me. All right, Greg, we appreciate your time, man.